Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri, and I'm very happy and proud to be here this morning to support our friend Kathleen Peters in her race to be our representative in the United States Congress. Kathleen Peters is the right person to represent District 13 and the people of Pinellas County in the U.S. Congress because she has lived and worked here for the past 28 years. She knows us and we know her. We can trust Kathleen with important decisions that affect our county and affect our country. She's a demonstrated leader in our community. Kathleen has been a city commissioner, a mayor, and is currently a Florida state representative who has worked hard to make a difference in our lives and improve our community. Kathleen is a true public servant who understands the need for and supports policies stimulating economic growth, creating jobs, assuring effective transportation systems, improving education systems, and supporting law enforcement to keep our community safe. We have the greatest military in the world, and it is because of their efforts that we are and will forever be the greatest country on this free earth. And I know that Kathleen will do everything in her power to support our troops. Kathleen is a fiscal conservative who knows that government must live within its means and that running the government on a credit card must stop. As a Chamber of Commerce official, nobody understands the need for businesses to thrive and for fiscal accountability in our government more than Kathleen Peters. In just a short time in the Florida legislature, Kathleen has made a difference and established herself as a leader. Kathleen understands that governing is about compromise and that it's important to work with others in a bipartisan way without compromising her core principles, beliefs, or values. Pinellas County needs a Pinellas County insider to represent us in the U.S. Congress, not a Washington insider or a Pinellas County outsider. I'm proud to support my friend Kathleen Peters to be our representative in the United States Congress. Thank you.
My name is and I'm a graduate of Stetson University with a degree in International Business and Spanish. I got my master's at Oxford and I'm just completing my PhD at Columbia. But before all of that, I was a 16-year-old girl going to high school here in Pinellas County. And Kathy Peters changed my life. It was August of 1999. I was calling the phone number on this letter I received that vaguely described this community service project. And Kathy Peters answered. I was calling because I was interested in the community service project, and I didn't realize that the letter described it vaguely on purpose, because we as youth were supposed to come up with the idea ourselves, raise the money, and execute it. And I said, well, how are we supposed to do that? We're just teenagers. And Kathy said, you are capable of doing this, and I'm going to help you. And help us she did. The meeting started in Pinellas Park with just 4 girls and Kathy. And in just a year and a half, we had written a grant and received it for $195,000 from the Juvenile Welfare Board. It turned into over $1 million teen center that was the first teen center chain in the state of Florida, possibly the nation. And I was going to detail you exactly how she took the project from just 4 girls to this teen center that lasted 10 years, 2 business cycles. But I was rehearsing my speech, and it took 7 minutes, and I'm only allowed 3 minutes. And my husband got bored and fell asleep, so I cut it all out, and I put it on this giant poster board. And I think that you all should read it, because, no, you should because it really details exactly how methodical and logical and creative she is at problem solving, at solving social problems, pulling community resources, and this is just one of the successful projects that she has worked on in Pinellas County. I also was involved with her lobbying against putting children that had committed nonviolent crimes in adult prisons. She's working on a multimedia homeless project right now. She is so creative, and working with her is so empowering. When you're done working with her, you just walk away feeling like the world is a better place. She restores your faith in society, in people, in institutions, and maybe that's because she's actively working to make the world a better place. So I am really honored to introduce to you the woman that changed my life and changed the lives of so many others, Kathy Peters.
When she was 16, and you know what? The world is a better place because she's in it. She's fabulous. Thank you all for being here. I'm truly humbled as I hear people talk about me. I'm Kathleen Peters, and I can tell you I am the proud mother of 4 sons, of which only 2 were able to be here today. My son Christopher is my oldest, and my youngest Adam next to him. And I'm the grandmother to 4 beautiful grandsons right here that I'm so proud of, and they are so beautiful. My daughter-in-law, Ginny, my husband, Michael, and my father over here sitting down, Philip Nick. I have been truly blessed with a wonderful family. I am truly a pragmatic, get the job done, dedicated Republican, a small businesswoman, a longtime community advocate, a former city commissioner and mayor. I am a state representative. I'm a 28-year resident of Pinellas County, and I am here today to proudly announce that yes, I am running for Congress. I am so proud to have received so many calls from friends and constituents and so many public servants who were really encouraging me to run, and they offered me their support. I'd like to take a moment to thank just a couple of them. There's just too many to thank, but first on the list is Senator Latvala. I tell you, sir, you have been a great friend and mentor. Thank you so much. Sheriff Bob Gualtieri. Sheriff and I met when I was a commissioner in the city of South Pasadena, and then mayor. He was my guy because we contracted with the Sheriff's Department for police, and anytime I had a problem, he was the guy I had to call, and he was always there and always took care of it. And over the years, I consider you to be a true friend. Thank you. Representative Cooper, where are you? I know you're there. You are. What a great role model he has been for me in the state legislature, and I thank you, sir, for your service and your friendship. And there are just so many elected officials here that I am so proud to call friends and colleagues. And my family and friends, I've truly been blessed. So why? Why am I entering this race for Congress? Now, I believe that Congressman Young was a true statesman, an icon. He left a legacy for all of us to value and model. And I certainly hope we do. And after more than 40 years of service, no one can serve Pinellas County or this country as he did. So what's next? Who is the next person to step up and serve Pinellas County in the manner befitting of this grand and beautiful place? Well, I believe the people of Pinellas County should have a choice of candidates. I do not believe that any political party should encourage someone to run or not to run to make it easier for the party to win. Serving our country, our state, our county, and our city should not be decided by a party. It should be determined by the people. And as of today, the Republicans of Pinellas County have a choice. I'm truly blessed to have incredible people like those that are here today influencing my life. All of these men and women have very important attributes in common. They are men and women of character and integrity. They're not afraid to roll up their sleeves and work hard. They have put the citizens of Pinellas County first, and most importantly, they have gotten the jobs done. Each one up here has been dedicated to the community either through volunteering or through public service, and they have ensured that our local and state government works. They have put people of Pinellas County first through service, and those elected officials that are here have protected our tax dollars to ensure that our quality of life is sustainable. They have modeled the type of person that I have aspired to be as a mother, as a businesswoman, and as a public servant. So what makes me believe that I am the right candidate to serve this community in Washington and work with a group of people who appear to be closed-minded, out of touch, and dysfunctional? Well, my life experience as a Cub Scout leader, a soccer and Little League mom, and Little League is tough, as well as working in countless community and civic leadership posts, being in business and serving as a local elected official have all taught me important lessons about building relationships and getting results. To me, just saying no is not good enough. It's time to offer alternatives. It's time to offer big solutions to really big problems. Our country's problems are not going to solve themselves, and the time for the weak-willed, the preening and the posturing men kicking the can down the road, running of bigger and bigger debts and deficits, and inflicting hardships on American people has long passed. It is time to roll up our sleeves, face our problems, and make hard choices, and work together for our children and our grandchildren's future. We cannot let the American dream die. I have the energy, the will, and a proven track record to not just say no, but to roll up my sleeves and get the right people around the table and generate comprehensive solutions. My work with teens, neighborhoods, schools, and businesses throughout Pinellas County has allowed me to put my finger on the pulse of what is important to our community. My work with local and state government has provided me the opportunity to generate positive policies that truly improve our communities, our businesses, and our quality of life. We must begin today, not tomorrow, not next week, to put our families and our neighbors first. We need to inject some common sense, some grit, and some gumption into the dysfunctional Washington gridlock. And I'll tell you, if the craziness and dysfunction that's coming from Congress stems from drinking from the water, what I can promise you is I will take my own Pinellas County water with me. I can also promise that no one will work harder. The United States of America is a great country with amazing people. All we need today are strong leaders and elected officials who put the people first. I want to thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the trail and over the next several months. By the way, wait just 1 second. There's something I want to say. It's scary to put him on. I just want to mention why I chose St. Petersburg College to make this announcement, because this campus in particular is very special to me. Not only am I an alum from SPJC, but it was the orthotics and prosthetic program, which is part of this building, that was my #1 priority for my very first legislative session. You see, St. Petersburg College is one of just 11 colleges in the country that offers degrees in that field. And that makes it a niche. And it's up to us to take that niche and make it a golden opportunity for Pinellas County and for Florida. And so I made it a #1 priority, working with the provost here and with the college president, Dr. Law, to move forward and make this campus, this school, the first and only center of excellence in the country for orthotics and prosthetics programming. And what does that mean? That means that we have the opportunity to do research and development in that industry. And that no other institute or college or university offers certificates in the eastern United States that this campus will offer. And that's destination education. And people will have to come here and stay here for 1 to 12 weeks to get those certificates, and stay in our hotels, and eat in our fabulous restaurants, and shop in our wonderful stores. This college promotes economic development, and it is also the campus that produces some of the strongest workforce-ready students that can go right into our businesses and ensure that the workforce needs of Pinellas County and Florida's future are met now and in the future. So I strongly encourage you to get to know your state college. It is a wonderful, wonderful college. Thank you all for joining me. I am very excited today, and I appreciate you being here with me, and I truly appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. Many of you know me, Senator Jack Latvala. I think next to Bernie McCabe, I'm probably the oldest elected official in this county now in terms of how long we've been in office, involved in the party. And I love this county, and I love Bill Young. There's probably only one other person in the room here that cried harder at his funeral than I did. And the reason I love Bill Young is that he cared about this county. He cared about this community, and he was the epitome of a public servant who I always have tried to model myself after. He really served his community. That was his mission. That was what he dedicated himself to doing all the time. And I think all of us as public officials should try to follow that example. And that's one of the reasons, frankly, that I was saddened when it began to look like that our choice to succeed our longtime public servant, our longtime community servant, was two people from outside of this community. You know, Alex Sink is from Thonosassa. Can you hardly say it, but it's way on the other side, out in the woods on the other side of Tampa. And David Jolly is from Washington, D.C. He's been an insider in Washington, D.C. and has owned a home here, certainly, and has worked for Congressman Young. But to the best of my knowledge, neither one of these people have worked in our community, have worked for our charities, have coached teams, and all the kinds of things that Kathleen has done. And to me, that means something. Because I don't believe that you can be an effective representative of people unless you understand those people, unless you know those people, unless you know what makes them tick and what their ambitions and hopes and dreams are. And the way you find that out is by working in the community. And I'm so happy to see all these folks standing here with us today, and I've drawn the opportunity to try to introduce them. And we're going to do this from memory, but I think it's important that everyone knows the breadth of involvement. I think there's probably close to 1,000 years of political involvement, either as elected officials or in the party, standing behind me. We've met Kathleen's family, but starting on my far right over there, in the front row, Hush Gove, who's a former president of the Pinellas Park Chamber of Commerce, longtime civic activist. Standing next to him, Mayor George Criticus from Clearwater, a longtime associate of our late congressman, 25, 30, 35 years, I don't even know how many years. George was the face of Congressman Bill Young here in Pinellas County, and now has gone on to an outstanding political career on his own. Behind George, the old pitcher for the New York Yankees and a few other teams, Casey Cox, who's the secretary of our Republican Party here in Pinellas County now. Next to him, Nick DeSigley, outstanding businessman here in Pinellas County, president or chairman of the Clearwater Chamber and vice chairman of our Republican Party. Next to Nick, Paul Bettinghouse, former chairman of our Republican Party here, longtime committed activist to our Republican Party. In front of him, former County Commissioner Neil Brickfield, City Commissioner of Safety Harbor, Neil Brickfield. Next to Paul in the back, the son of our late Congressman, and I'm really appreciative and happy to see you here with us today, Billy Young. Next to Billy, Miss Annie Ferrantino, longtime supporter of many of us in the Republican Party here in Pinellas. She probably been involved in party stuff here longer than me, maybe, also. On the front row, Julie Daniels, the chairman of our Early Learning Coalition, appointed by Governor Scott here in Pinellas County, a businesswoman from Palm Harbor. Safety Harbor Mayor Joe Ayu, who kind of got all this kicked off last week with his public endorsement of Kathleen before she really even made up her mind she was going to do it. Joe, you're responsible. On the back row, my son, Chris Latvala, who has worked with me for years and now on his own running for the House of Representatives in District 67. Next to him, the Dean of our House delegation here in Pinellas County, former Clearwater City Commissioner, Representative Ed Hooper. Next to him, our former Sheriff, Jim Coates, well known to all of us. Jim, certainly looked like great to see you here today. On the front row, right here are the Sofer twins. Susie Sofer, City Commissioner in Bel Air Bluffs, and her father, Stan. Doesn't look old enough to be her father, but he's her father.
Former Bel Air Commissioner.
Former Bel Air Commissioner. Good. On the back row, Rick Butler, longtime city councilman in the city of Pinellas Park. You're probably crowding on 20 years of being a councilman, aren't you? Kind of runs the city of Pinellas Park.
I will do Jennifer.
Jennifer Peterson.
You got it.
Jennifer Peterson from the Tampa Art Institute, or Art Institute of Tampa, who's working with Kathleen on the homeless project, doing a great job. On the front row here, my councilman from the city of Clearwater, Doreen DiPolito. On the back row over here, the mayor of Treasure Island, Bob Minning. Mayor, thank you for coming. Right here is City Councilwoman Patty Johnson from the city of Pinellas Park. Mike McCurrick from the Juvenile Welfare Board, new appointee from Governor Scott. Back in the back there, someone else that's been involved in this party almost as long as I have, or maybe even as long as I have, our clerk of the court, Ken Burke. On the front row, our tax collector, Diane Nelson. Thank you for coming. And behind Diane is somebody maybe a lot of you don't know, but he's a former state legislator. He was one of the first Republican state legislators ever elected from Pinellas County. Lives in northeast St. Petersburg, Don Crane. Welcome. And of course, we've already met the sheriff. You know, I don't remember in the 35 years that I've lived in Pinellas County seeing this many elected officials turn out and show their support for a political candidate after a kickoff. And I know there's a lot of other important folks in the audience, particularly my friends, our firefighters from Lellman and maybe some other places. You know, Kathleen has the ability to reach across a lot of lines and appeal to a lot of people, whether they be the public safety guys, her son is a firefighter in the city of Clearwater, or women, or people who are concerned about our beaches, the importance of beach renourishment to our economy, to our environment. All of these kind of things she wraps up in one package, and I'm very pleased and honored that she has asked me to be involved today and that I am supporting Kathleen 100%. So is there anyone else up here, this is always dangerous, but is there anyone else up here that has anything they would like to say? A bunch of politicians. Vote for Peters. Have I done it all? All right, thank you very much for your participation.
memory, that's